Hi everyone, it's Irit with another process video. Sorry about my voice. I am hopefully at the end of a bit of a cold, but I hope I can narrate this video. So everything I used on this layout is from the October Hip Kits, except three flowers that I took from the floral ephemera pack, also from the open book collection. I think most things here are from the open book Maggie Holmes collection. I love that collection, and the October kit was full of products from it. So what I did before, I embossed a bunch of feathers from the stamp set that came with the stamp add-on, and I used white embossing powder, light yellow embossing powder, and gold on vellum. And yeah, I just knew I was going to use them, so I just made a bunch, and I think I used all of them on this layout, I'm pretty sure. And I wanted to use this beautiful piece of paper from Crepe Paper. I love this paper, but I wanted to add a little more texture to my background. So I glued down a bunch of scraps and die cuts and covered it with gesso. I have done this before, also this month. I love the way it looks. It looks interesting and textured and detailed, but toned down enough so that you can add more things on it, and I think it doesn't look too busy. And you'll see at the end also it another way of keeping things cleaner, I guess. So now I had all these feathers, and my original idea was to line them up like that in a row, but in the end I go with another idea. And the photo I'm using here is a really old one. Well, really old one. It's 10 years old, and I didn't take that photo. My husband took that photo, and it's we met at a student exchange program in Italy, and so it was during the summer. Sorry, the recording stopped. So it was during the summer, and we stayed in the student dorm of the local students, which are empty in the summer. And that's just a photo of his room, and I think I scrapbooked a few photos of us, but from that month in Italy, but I didn't scrapbook, I think, hardly any photos of the places. So yeah, I thought it would be nice. There's nothing, it's not like a very good photo or anything, but you know, it has meaning, I guess, or it holds some very important memories. And yeah, so I layered these feathers, and I'm just trying to make it look good. And I thought the white ones looked a little bit too bare, I guess, so I added some watercolors, and I'm just using here a cheap palette that I got on Amazon, and I just wanted very soft colors. I mostly use these days my Peerless watercolors or my artist grade watercolors, because I love how vibrant they are, but in this case I really wanted something pale to kind of match the colors and not overwhelm the page, because I just want to add more layers. And I think with every mixed media page that I make, there is this stage, and I'm pretty sure I can point my finger exactly when that is, where I have this idea and I've already started to make it happen, kind of, and I put things on the page or paint or whatever, and I have this kind of a vague image in my mind of what I expect it to look, and then I look at the layout and I'm like, this is not that great, or this doesn't look like anything. And then what I do all the time, kind of, is just carry on and add more stuff, basically. And I guess 90% of the time, or maybe a bit less, it works, or things just somehow come together. So this was that point of my layout. Actually, I think before I added our story, but just those feathers laying there, that's what I had in mind, kind of, and I just didn't really like it as it was. So I decided to add more stuff, and I think what makes it, there's a few things that make it work for me. Of course, it's different for everyone. But one thing that I did was I cut down the background paper, and I think I cut down like 2.5 inches off, and I'm gonna mat it on white cardstock, and that just makes the whole thing look so much cleaner and brighter. So that was one thing. And all the layers that I added and pretty much everything that I put on this layout has these similar soft colors. So it just, even though there is kind of a lot of stuff and a lot of layering, I still like the way it looks, and for me it's not too much. And also I keep it very excuse me, I keep it concentrated in those 3 areas, where actually the bottom cluster next to the Our Story title is very it doesn't have a lot of elements, just a sticker on it. It's the only thing I add. And I just added some gelatos for a little bit of detailing around the feathers. And I used the guava and mango, and they came with the add-on kits. And then I used just some bits and pieces. I think this is a really great layout idea for scraps. And I already started my background with scraps, but then I just added some little pieces of paper, and I thought about adding those gold accents, but it was just too much. I ended up just cutting a few little rectangles from the cut apart sheet, that came in the kit. And I'm adding a subtitle with the Teresa Collins letter stickers, and so the title reads, "Our story begins here." And I'm gonna add a little bit of gesso to the begins here, just to make it match the rest of the layout better. You can still totally read it. It's completely legible, but it's a bit, I don't know, it matches the background better. And I'm also using this cork camera. This is from Ellie's Studio, and it came with the main kit. And I've said it before, I love the texture of cork. I'm not a huge fan of the color of it, so I think probably 90% of the time I will change it. And here I just added some gesso and gelatos, so I keep everything with the same colors. And the last thing I added, I think, besides a few enamel dots that came with the add-on kit, the embellishment add-on kit, was a couple of stickers and 3 flowers from the Maggie Holmes open book floral ephemera pack, which I really, really love. I think I need two, just so I don't hoard them. I'll probably never run out because there are like a million flowers in each of them. And I think that is all I did in this layout. So yeah, and also I kept the layering behind the photo very simple. I used one of the lighter pattern papers that I really like. It's from Ellie's Studio, and it has a yellow and gray, light yellow and light gray diagonal stripe on it, and a piece of vellum between the photo and all the layers in the background, which is something I do often. I think vellum really helps. It softens things up, and it helps to separate the photo from the rest of the mess, I guess. So yeah, that's it for my layout. So I hope you feel inspired to just play around a little bit with your products, and there will be some detail shots of the finished layout soon. And yeah, I don't know if this is the last layout I'll be creating with the October kits. As many of you, I am also an international subscriber, so my packages need to travel across the world to get to me. And I am anxiously awaiting the November kit, which has a lot of really, really lovely things. But yeah, I'm sure I will be back soon with more layouts. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to also join us on the Hip Kit Club member forum page on Facebook, which is now open only for subscribers, but you can see all the projects of the design team on the blog and just get inspired, whether you are a subscriber or not. And you can also find me on the Nicole Jones 911 Facebook page. And yeah, that's it. Now I've really said it all. So thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely day. Bye.